Finish my bachelor's, go into my master's, and possibly a PhD. And I was so excited to actually go sit in the office. Like, that was just like, and it's, hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Jay. Today I'm going to talk about college, and is it still worth it? As many of you know, I was in the military for 6 years. I joined a year before I even graduated high school. I was just 17 years old when I started the process of joining the military. For me, it seemed obvious because it offered the opportunity to pay for college. And that was always the plan, right? It's been ingrained in many of us around my generation. I'm 26, gosh. I'm 26 years old, and for many of us, it has been ingrained. You go to college, and that is how you succeed. That is how you get a secure job, and that is the way to go. Is a part of the big plan. So going to college has always been a part of the plan for myself because I saw that as the only true way to succeed. I am currently in my last year of university at bachelor's level, and I'm starting to question that notion now. I'm starting to question, is the debt that you get from university worth it? Is the time that you spend in university actually worth it? I think the first argument here would be the amount of debt. So our parents have ingrained in us that going to university is the way to go. So they are in the same, they can't quite wrap their mind around how it is now because they went to university so long ago. Since in 1970, tuition was around $300 to $600. It has increased by about 3,000% since 1970. And minimum wage has increased by $6. So the plan or the idea of working part-time to put yourself through university is no longer feasible. You know, like working, a lot of people go to university and they work part-time and they absolutely, you know, they're killing themselves and it's all part of this big plan and that's what you do when you're a grown-up. But it's really not worth it when you weigh the option of things. Not only are you putting yourself in this certain amount of debt that you know of, because you have to think about it. When you go to college, you go from being an 18-year-old in a classroom at high school, having to raise your hand to use the bathroom, to now getting out this huge loan, this huge debt that's going to follow you for the rest of your life. And it says something like, oh yeah, with an interest of 13%, and you're just like, okay, you have no idea the implications because they don't really teach you that, you know, about loans in high school. So now you've paid off you think you've paid off a certain amount of debt. You decide to check on it 20 years later and you realize, wow, I still owe about the same amount because of the interest rates, and you're not getting paid much of anything and you're not getting paid much of anything in your prospective career field. So if you're going to college or university, if you're in the UK, if you're going to university to study something like to be a doctor or a veterinarian or a lawyer or something specialized like that, and you know that's something you've always wanted to do, this isn't for you. This does not apply to you. But for other people, a lot of things that you want to learn, you can learn online. It's in the palm of your hand now. You know, everything that you want to learn, you can learn online. Instead of going to debt to learn something like a language, the amount of money you spend on tuition within 1 year, you can go to, say if you wanted to learn Spanish, you can go to Spain and get indulged in not just the language but the culture in a way that a classroom could never offer you. Cosmetology is another one. Everything you want to know about cosmetology, I promise you, is on YouTube. Like, it's an amazing amount of information on the internet. So there's no reason to put yourself into this large amount of debt and waste your time. Because in a way, you know, your best teacher is life. to be honest. I'll use my best friend as an example. He is currently teaching himself front-end computer programming. He's teaching himself completely online, whereas if he'd gone to university, he'd be in about, I don't even know how much in debt. You know, about maybe, let's say he'll be in about 40 pounds worth of debt or something along those lines. But instead, he's teaching himself programming all online, and most, if not all, of the tools that he uses online are free. And when he goes into the workforce, he'll be working with those people who are now in thousands of dollars of debt. So everything you want, or just about everything you want to learn is online. Another reason that, you know, we once thought that getting a degree was the way to go is that we had this idea that it is the way to go for job security. When you have a degree, you are good. That couldn't be, in 2020, that could not be farther from the truth. And the pandemic proved that. I mean, people with their masters have been laid off. There's no such thing as job security. You can be replaced, you can be laid off, and let's be honest, robots are going to take all of our jobs soon anyway. But seriously, there's no such thing as job security, and this pandemic proved that. And it's so funny because my mindset in all of this changed just in 2020. Before COVID-19 hit, I was so, capitalism had me excited to go sit in the office. I mean, honestly, I was so excited to finish my bachelor's, go into my master's, and possibly a PhD. And I was so excited to actually go sit in the office. That was just like, and it's crazy because wages in the UK are extremely low. And I'm already 26. I spent 6 years in the military, and then I started year one at university. I started with 18-year-olds. So I don't have a lot of time to waste in a sense. And I was so excited at spending another 10 years in college. It's like, why? Honestly, the best teacher in life, like I said before, is life itself and experience. Because when you finish your degree and you go apply for a job, what is one of the number one reasons you might not get that job? Because you lack experience. And it's like, well, I need for you to hire me in this job in order for me to get experience. Or you can go volunteer for free. So it's like you've wasted all this time and all this money, and now it doesn't even matter because you still need experience. You kind of end up in this circle. And I'm gonna go back to what I said before about everything you need to know being online. How many of you can relate? Say I in the comments. How many of you can relate when you are in university and you've been told to buy a certain book, and then you go home and they tell you to read certain chapters of that book, and then you're tested on set chapters of that book? You could have saved a whole lot of money by just not going to university and buying that book if that was going to be the case. I mean, and that's not for all professors, obviously. Some professors, they put a lot more into their teaching. But many professors, I want to argue almost over half, their slideshows, their notes are just from that book that you spent your money on buying. So yeah, anything you want, you can find out online, you can buy a book. Why spend the time and the money in university and have someone just kind of, regurgitate the information that's in the book? Honestly, you can find a YouTube video of someone explaining it better sometimes. So, is a university degree useless? In a sense, yes. Many of them are useless. Like I said, this does not apply if you're going to be a doctor, veterinarian, a lawyer, and that's something you always wanted to do. But for many degrees, like drama degrees, I mean, come on, drama, cosmetology, languages, you can teach yourself that and save a whole lot of money. Getting a life experience in those things are absolutely priceless. like my example of learning a language, you're spending say 7 to 13,000 a year at university. Do you know how far 7 to 13,000 can get you to actually just go to Madrid, Spain, and study the language and get completely indulged in the culture? A classroom is not going to offer you that. Cosmetology, yeah, there's tons of videos on YouTube. There's tons of experience. Get a best friend, practice on their face. Drama, go to a freaking improv class. There are tons of degrees. There's a tons of people every year just wasting time, wasting money. Life is sometimes your best teacher. All right, so that's enough of me. I made this video because I'm kind of in my feels. I'm coming down to my last year, and I am going back to university Friday. I have been out of the country. I go to university in Wales. I've been in England for the past 6 months. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Friday, I am going to upload a vlog. I'm going to upload a vlog of my travel from the Midlands in England back to university. So make sure you hit the bell so that you don't miss that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.